All right, I'm back with you. This is part two of the decision about LeBron James going down to the Miami Heat. Now, one of the things I want to talk about in this, I want to talk about Dan Gilbert briefly. Also, I'm going to talk about LeBron quitting on the Cavs, as Dan Gilbert had um, made an accusation, as well as why LeBron will go down as one of the best players in NBA history. Now, back to Dan Gilbert and his crazy remarks. Look, that was totally ridiculous what he did. As a matter of fact, it set him up to never get any talent outside of the draft in Cleveland. I know people say that people will take his money, but it's not that simple. One of the things that, even though the fans and some of the people that hate LeBron right now are coming out of the woodworks, one of the things you will know is that LeBron is well respected among NBA players because of his talent. I mean, they don't deny that this guy is the best player in the league, and they treat him as such. That's why so many players wanted to play with him. Why so many people were waiting to see what LeBron was going to do before they made a decision as to what they were going to do in free agency. So don't kid yourself, and I hope Dan Gilbert is not kidding himself to think he can just diss one of the best players in the history of the game like that, and people just flock to come and play in Cleveland, which they couldn't get Chris Bosh to come there, and they couldn't get any other free agents really to come there, and that's why LeBron left town. So Dan Gilbert really is left holding the bag. And if LeBron was such a quitter and all these other things that Dan Gilbert came up with, why was he willing to pay LeBron another $130 million? I don't get it. All of this stuff came out after LeBron left, and then LeBron's a quitter, and then he's all these other things, and it's amazing. That's amazing. So hypocritical. Now, back to topic number two, and that is the actual accusation of LeBron quitting on Cleveland. Now, in game five, when I watched that game, I did say something is wrong. After that first half, or somewhere at the end of the first quarter, or somewhere like that, when Mike Brown took LeBron out of the game, his whole demeanor did change. I believe he had a beef with Mike Brown. There was something going on either in the locker room or with Mike Brown personally that LeBron just pulled a Kobe. Now, why is he taking so much heat for doing the exact same thing that Kobe did in a game seven against the Phoenix Suns? Yeah, you Kobe lovers out there, I want to hear your comments. And all you Laker fans, because Kobe quit on in that Phoenix game. And that was a game seven in a series where they were up 3-1. And Kobe just refused to shoot in the second half. Totally checked out of the game. Now, so LeBron had a beef with Mike Brown. He pulled something very similar. I don't agree with it. I thought it was just terrible as far as LeBron goes. But why is he being nailed to the cross when he did the exact same thing that Kobe did? Now, people try to make it sound like LeBron couldn't play any better, or he didn't want to play any better, or whatever the situation was. LeBron showed you he could play better than what he played by posting the 27, 19, and 10 game, and people still criticized him in game six and said, hey, that wasn't enough. Yeah, he had some turnovers, but so did Kobe in a game seven against Boston that we just watched. But he got a pass. Instead, people said, well, Kobe found a way to help his team win. He didn't find a way to help his team win. His team won in spite of his terrible play in that game. 6 for 24. He had about 7 or 8 turnovers himself. Okay, he had 15 rebounds. Wow. LeBron had 19 rebounds in the game 6 against Boston, 27 points and 10 assists. And people tried to say he quit in all of those games. Dan Gilbert said he quit in all of those games. It's just totally ridiculous. Yes, he did pull a Kobe in game 5, which I thought was beneath him to actually do that. He did pull a Kobe in game 5, shut it down for whatever reason. But I think he will show you who he is in these upcoming years, because finally playing with some top-notch talent, you're going to see the best that LeBron has to offer. And I believe it's going to be simply off the chart, off the chain. I mean, this guy's, I don't think we've seen what this guy will be, but I think we're about to see it. So now you have my take on Dan Gilbert, on him quitting or not quitting in game five, which I think he did check out for whatever reason. He pulled a Kobe, and everybody has excused Kobe for pulling a Kobe against Phoenix. But one of the things he has not pulled that Kobe pulled was throwing his teammates under the bus as well as his management. You know, LeBron hasn't never said anything negative about his teammates or about management or making videos on cell phones and getting it to the press and going on radio shows, you know, talking about trade me, trade me, trade me, and none of that crazy stuff. When LeBron had subpar talent like he had, what did he do? He didn't demand a trade. He didn't, you know, throw everybody under the bus and talk junk about his teammates. No, he took them to the NBA Finals. So now all of you people that talk about LeBron being heartless and all the other stuff that you claim, your claims are totally unfounded. And as far as LeBron having no heart, did any of you watch the Detroit series when Detroit was the best team in the league? They had just slaughtered the Lakers in the finals the year before, 5-1, which really they won all of those games, if you ask me. I mean, 4-1, but they won all of those games, if you ask me. No, it wasn't the, you know, the game that they somehow got away with in LA. Really, Detroit should have won that game as well. But that same team played LeBron and the Cavaliers with the supporting cast that I could have, you know, picked up off the playground, and he scores 25 straight points in the fourth quarter, and they win the game in overtime to turn that series around. They were down 0-2 in that series, and they come back to win it in 6, and the Cavs go on to the NBA Finals. That was the best single performance of any player in a playoff ever seen. The Isaiah feat back in the day against the Lakers with the broken ankle, that was heroic. But I think Detroit. I think Detroit went on to lose that series and maybe even that game. But I know they lost the series. But LeBron's performance will go down as the single best performance in playoff history. Now, for you guys or whoever it is out there to say he doesn't have the killer instinct, what was that? How do you score 25 straight points when the team defense is designed to stop you against one of the best defenses in the league? How do you do that? I'm going to let you guys answer. I'm going to let all the haters answer that when they say LeBron is a quitter and doesn't have a heart, doesn't have the killer instinct. One of the things I'm looking forward to this season is how badly they will beat whoever they play in the finals. And hopefully it is the Lakers, because that would be a good show to see the Lakers be dogged out, pretty much like Detroit dogged them out back then. Well, I'm getting a little off task and off the subject right now, and a little bit of my Laker hate is coming out. But you can get the rest of any story, post your comments. I love to hear them, opposing or pro or con. And this is me. I'm out. The Truth in Sports by MRJ.com. Go there. I'll be updating things with a bunch of NBA covers this year because it's going to be an exciting year in the NBA. So peace. And as far as the decision goes, hey, it was the best decision LeBron could have made. And because he had the juice to do it on national TV and have 10 million people watching, that just comes with being the best player in the league, man. Peace. I'm out.